Hey guys, welcome to this recap with Gino. Sorry, about the delay. Just this last couple of weeks been kicking my ass, and finally, I guess the exhaustion caught up to me. Um, but we're gonna be talking about Raw. Very, very good Raw. I took a lot of notes in this one, a lot of sprinkle little hints, including a main event segment that was really brilliant, and I've been calling this for weeks. If you go back and watch several of my video casts, and it makes them lead into the predictions I have later next week for WrestleMania, which is what 10 days away now, I believe. What's the date today? It's the 8th of the ninth today, isn't it? It is the ninth. Yeah, we have exactly 10 days. Because WrestleMania is coming to us live on Easter, sorry, I'm thinking like Easter weekend. In Las Vegas, we got Saturday morning kicking it off with NXT Takeover, or Extended Delivers, they're not calling them, and then the WrestleMania weekend. Um, but without further ado, we're going to be doing my notes here from what I saw on Raw, what I really liked. We had a three-way women's match, which is probably the worst kept secret in WWE for a long time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Bianca Belair versus Io Sky versus Manny Rhea Ripley. I don't want to give a prediction on that until next week, but I think I may know the outcome. I think 202 people is winning this match. I don't think one of these people needs the belt, and that one person I don't think needs the belt is Rhea, because I think Rhea's just so over and just like a Stone Cold character that belt really does nothing for her. We're talking more about what I think about this match next week, but interesting segment where they kind of did a repeat of what happened a couple of weeks ago, where they both disrespected Io. Io ended up drop kicking Rhea into the back of Bianca and signing the contract while they were both on the ground. All right, so that kicked off Raw with Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce. I don't know if you guys saw it from a few days ago, but I'm surprised actually hasn't been memed over the internet yet. But there's a brain fart where Adam Pearce actually announced Rhea Ripley as a member of the Judgment Day. Remember, the Judgment Day's been looking for a new member, but it's definitely not going to be Rhea due to the feud that she had with Dominic and Liv. And this was all the scheme to pour the wool over our eyes and Finn's eyes. Then we are speaking about the Judgment Day. We actually go backstage to the Judgment Day celebrating in their clubhouse, and Finn discovering that I'm looking for Toddy, sorry guys. Finn discovering that Dominic Mysterio is actually now one of the three other people in the match with him at the Intercontinental match. Um, So more teasing that the Judgment Day will be breaking up shortly, or at least Finn will be getting turned on, and you can see in the background again there was the homage to the Finn's character, the Demon. So at some point the Demon may come after Judgment Day. Following that, we actually had Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria for the IC title. Absolutely incredible match. I know there's a lot of people. Sorry guys, I'm just fixing my mic here. I know there's a lot of people have been hating on Lyra and saying she's boring or has no character, she's bland, and Bayley's just Bayley, and Bayley's just there. This was arguably one of the best matches I've seen in a long time, probably the best match so far for the Intercontinental title, women's Intercontinental title, I should say. Also, that being said, where the fuck did Dakota Kai disappear to? Is damage control still a thing? Like when EO came out, they didn't announce her. Sorry guys, just fixing my mic. They didn't announce her as part of damage control or nothing like that. It was just Io Sky was there. If that makes sense. Whereas they blubbed up and they announced Rhea as part of damage control. Actually, damage control of Judgment Day. I know Kairi Sane's on her way back, so there's a chance that my prediction next week may come to fruition, but we'll see what happens. But very good match. A little bit of a tease that Bayley might be going heel at the end as she's going for a submission hold, goes to the Rose Plant, and Lyra Valkyria rolls it up and beats her with a roll up. So now they're tied 1-1, and they're going to be the surprise mystery team. Well, not surprised. They're one of the 6 teams in the termination match to get a championship match at Mania. Just the tease that they had at the end of the match made me believe that Bayley may actually be going heel again because there's a point where it looked like she was going to attack Lyra. She went to the ring all pissed off, and then shook Lyra's head and she came back in. She put over Lyra. Now they're even at 1-1, so we're going to see what happens here in that series goes on. Um, I would be mad at seeing Lyra and Bayley run it back at Mania and see what happens. But very good match, nice little tease. Seems like little seeds been planted. Maybe something to continue after Mania or at Mania. Who knows? Maybe even continue with SmackDown this week. As, like I said, they're one of the teams going for the tag team. Excuse me, guys. Tag team titles, which is kind of weird since they've never actually had a tag team match or anything at all together. They've had one match together and they're a tag team, but okay. Um, I wish I would have seen the reunion of Sister Abigail and Alexa, but I guess we're waiting till after Mania to bring that back. Alexa, turn off. That was weird. Sorry, guys. Um,
Sorry, I didn't get that. The internet isn't reachable.
I think my house is haunted tonight, guys. But yeah. So, like I said, Friday night we're getting the tag team match to see who the number one contenders are. I can't remember all the teams off the top of my head. I will tell you guys. Um, Following that match, which is absolutely brilliant, probably one of the best women's matches for a title I've seen in a while on WWE at least. Um, we get American Made having an interview with Chad Gable apologizes to Minnesota because they will not get to see their hometown here wrestle, but they will get to say El Grande Americano Luchador in a match versus the LWO of Joaquin Wild, Cruz del Toro, and Dragon Lee. Of course, LWO loses because WWE does not give a shit about the LWO. But it plants seeds for what's going to happen later in the night. As Chad Gable wins by headbutting Dragon Lee with a steel plate in his mask and hitting a diving headbutt. Great show by the LWO. Really cool spot by Joaquin Wild where he launches himself off the back of the other members of LWO and hits like a springboard plancha. Those six people had great chemistry together. Ivy Niles on the outside being I don't know what she was supposed to be. I like how the crowd, half the crowd's like, that is Gable. No, it's not. That is Gable. No, it's not. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee played into it as well perfectly, but that match is just way too predictable. You knew American Made was going to win the whole time. Following that, we actually had I guess for Netflix viewers only, a nice little interview with Ludwig Kaiser where he was playing Kai about he didn't know what was happening last Thursday and he was going after people until he got his rightful spot in a match on Mania. I wouldn't mind seeing him as a fifth member in like a ladder match for the Intercontinental title because he was in that feud with Braun and them, all of a sudden just over. And where the hell is Sheamus? Make it a six-way ladder match for the Intercontinental title. I don't think people here get mad. Give Sheamus a chance again. Ludwig Kaiser's had a big bajillion. Why can't Sheamus? I mean, crown Sheamus at Mania. Let him have the Intercontinental title. Let Braun go after the WWE title. I have a prediction about what's going to happen with that match as well, like I said, but that's for next week. Sorry, I'm just getting my notes here back again, guys. Um, but yeah, like I said, there other slide uh, Kaiser interview where he didn't really mention anything about what happened with what Charlotte said, just scooted around the issue. Then we had a recap of what Gunther did, and giant smile on his face. He was about to head to the ring later on to get an interview, but we didn't get to that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Then we had more of a hype bidding for Triple H, and I know a lot of people are saying he's only in because he's now the guy running the company, but those are the same people that didn't watch WWE during the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras. Sorry. Triple H is responsible for one of the most cool things that's ever happened in WWE, which is Degeneration X and keeping that going with Shawn Michaels, and he's responsible for some of the best feuds in the history of WWE with the likes of The Rock and Stone Cold and Angle and Lesnar and Shawn Michaels, and he formed Evolution. Without Triple H, there's no Randy Orton, there's no Dave Batista. Ric Flair doesn't get his confidence back and become Ric Flair again. You don't get the Triple H Undertaker rivalry we got. Excuse me, guys. We didn't get Triple H versus Kane, where we have the memorable that will last forever, sadly, on the infamous caption. Triple H fucking a mannequin in a casket while there's an actual funeral going on next door. Triple H shrugging Stephanie, several things. So, just Triple H had a great mind for this business. Unfortunate the way it ended with the heart issues, he can't wrestle anymore. But and also you're never gonna hear many pops like that one. As Alexa Bliss got a Triple H pop, and we call it Triple H pop because I don't remember if you guys are old enough or a lot of you remember. the pop that Triple H got when he came back after being a year away from tailoring his tech, and their building just exploded for that man because they knew what he meant to the business. Following that, we actually had another Netflix segment for an interview for the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and this is actually quite hilarious because at one point, Liv wanted to keep talking, and Jackie Redmond's like, actually, we're out of time, and she kept talking, just faded to black while Liv was talking, but kind of a pointless segment that didn't need to be there. But it kind of fed up the fact that Liv is insane, and these two girls think that there's nothing you can touch them. Maybe we're gonna play some hot potatoes with those tag team titles. Maybe Jakara and Lash get their title run at Mania because they've worked their ass off and deserve a moment like that. Um, but like I said, that'll be my prediction for next week's show. But it is that was just there to kill some time, I think. And then we had Gunther come to the ring with giant smile on his face. He's about to say something, and Jey Uso's music hits. The crowd is eating. Pat McAfee's eating, but Jey Uso's doing absolutely nothing. He's dressed in all black, and you can tell this is serious Jey Uso, and I'm not going to do any damage to this promo by trying to say anything about it, but you guys should check it out. It is the promo of Jey Uso's career. This thing's absolutely brilliant. I wouldn't say it's a hard times promo, but it's a promo. If you got a sibling, will get to you. If you mean what I mean, it's absolutely the way he does it. His facial expressions, Gunther's ability to buy into the story, and you can see that Gunther's starting to fear Jay now at this point. As Jay no longer fears Gunther, he claims, but just a brilliant, brilliant promo. Well, he played up at both guys. Jay's still not going to win the belts, as far as I'm concerned. It's going to be an okay match. It won't be a match you're going to write home about. Or is Jay going to win the title? Find out next week when I make my prediction what I think is going to happen. But Jay played this perfectly. Gunther ate off it. Well, Gunther's an absolute genius. You can see why Undertaker's guy right now. The dude is just old school and gets everything he's supposed to do properly. Sorry, guys. Maybe I'm still not with it all the way. Um, sorry, just going over my notes. Then we got a recap of what happened with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Paul Heyman. The favor is that Paul Heyman is going to be in CM Punk's corner at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns starts to wrap it off, and yeah, and I'm telling you right now, like I've told you guys for weeks now, CM Punk and Roman Reigns are getting played, and Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman have been cahoots for months. And Paul Heyman's actually going to be going into the corner of Seth Rollins after WrestleMania is over, and we're going to have a new faction with Paul Heyman leading it. And I think that faction is going to be Seth Rollins and a few surprises you guys are going to see coming. The War Raiders versus the New Day for the tag team titles is after that, and this is a very, very good match. Four very good professional wrestlers. Great story here. And after the match, well, disqualification due to the fact that Xavier Woods brings a steel chair to the ring. The War Raiders use it, and then the New Day use the steel chair to target the War Raiders' necks. Those of you that know the War Raiders have a history of neck issues, and very interesting spot where security saves the War Raiders. But we're gonna definitely run this back. If we run it back at Mania or not, I'm not sure, but we're running it back. And I kind of agree with my buddy Colin. The War Raiders have kind of fallen flat as tag team champions. There's nothing about them that draws you to them. War, I love them as War Machine in the Independents and in NXT. I really loved them, but their run in WWE's been less than memorable. They're fun guys, they're a good tag team, but there's just nothing memorable about them, if that makes sense. And the New Day is the New Day, and that's right, the New Day. Actually, a little bit more teasing that we may be getting a Big E return soon. As when they had Kofi Mania and they had Big E and Xavier Woods holding up Kofi Kingston when he won the title. Kofi Kingston now photoshopped Big E out of that picture. So it's a little offside with only Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and Xavier Woods holding Kofi Kingston and kind of sliding to one side in the photo. So foreshadowing that Big E maybe rejoining the photo or maybe going after the New Day. Who knows? Um, American Made returns again. This time they're chased off by LWO, and that's when we find out that Rey Mysterio has asked for a favor from Adam Pearce, and that favor is that we are going to get Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, the American Luchador, aka Chad Gable, at WrestleMania. And I know people are already talking shit about this match. It should be a Mania match. Do not sleep on this match. Chad Gable is incredible. He's this generation's Kurt Angle. And Rey Mysterio is arguably one of those people who get talked about, but is in the category of the greatest of all time. He is definitely the greatest little dude to ever wrestle. He's like the Allen Iverson of WWE, the guy that's under 6 feet tall and under 200 pounds, and is just absolutely incredible. Rey Mysterio is arguably one of the greatest of all, or not arguably, Rey Mysterio, in my opinion, is top three all time. Following that, we actually had Penta versus Dirty Dom for the main event. Very good match. There's a few teases where Dirty Dom looked like he was going to win the match with the help from Carlito, and Finn was nowhere to be seen during the whole match. Eventually, Penta hits the sacrifice and hits the Mexican Destroyer, whatever you want to call it. The Penta driver beats Dirty Dom, gets attacked by Carlito, and then the mother of all spears, if you guys haven't seen it, Braun Breaker's in their entrance ramp. He starts running down. You see this camera angle. He takes off halfway down the entrance ramp, and then all of a sudden you see Braun Breaker flying and Carlito flipping. And this just looks like Braun Breaker shot like a missile out of a goddamn cannon. Carlito actually has a hilarious tweet that you guys can see on his Instagram or his Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it, saying that his funeral service will be held on Friday to send flowers to his family in the Dominican Republic in lieu of money, and he will be missed by the world as one of the greatest luchadors of all time. So Carlito's hilarious. He just gets what he is now at this point. He doesn't need to be in the ring anymore, but yeah, Braun Breaker definitely took his soul with that spear. If you guys haven't seen it, you should go check it out. Absolutely, absolutely. Just like I told people and a lot of people, Braun TV does justice. No, it does Braun no justice for how fast the dude actually is. I've seen him live and in person in Vancouver at War Games. I thought Brock was fast, being Brock Lesnar. Braun Breaker might be the fastest wrestler I've ever seen. This dude just hits the ropes or anything with such acceleration. It's like a Ray Lewis style linebacker coming at you. And Goldberg was saying he might have the best spear. Goldberg's claiming Goldberg may have the best spear in the history of wrestling. Fuck you, Goldberg. There is no even battle going on here. Braun Breaker's spear is about a bajillion times better and more believable than your spear ever was and ever will be. Um, Braun Breaker is more athletic ability in his pinky toe than Bill Goldberg has in any part of his body. Goldberg legitimately was a two move wrestling machine. Couldn't cut a promo to save his life. You next. Sorry, I'm just not a Goldberg guy. For those of you that are that I offended, I apologize, but never been my thing, never will be my thing. I think the guy did more harm in wrestling than he ever did good. Sorry, getting back, he Spears. He murders Carlito, spears Dirty Dom, spears Penta, gets taken out by Finn. Finn is celebrating, and then you see Braun slowly get up behind Finn, about to spear him, and Braun and Finn takes off like a coward. And then we get another all-time great promo this from Seth Rollins, where there's a lot of hints and seeds laid, and I don't know. You guys tell me, was Seth lying at all during that promo? I didn't see a single lie come out of Seth's mouth. He's about to kill Paul Heyman, and CM Punk tries to make it safe. Seth Rollins kills CM Punk and tells that Paul Heyman he now owes Seth a favor. So the seeds and the mind games have been planted there and absolutely done well by the Hall of Famer Triple H and the way he writes and produces the show. Makes you believe, is Paul going to turn? Is Paul going to turn on Seth? Is Paul going to stay with Punk? Is Paul going to stay with Roman and turn on both? Is he going to turn on Roman and join Seth and Punk to teach Roman a lesson? Because there's a lot of nice little callbacks that Seth Rollins hits during that promo where he talks about how when um when Heyman's getting destroyed in front of his family in New York, and both Punk and Reigns are back, and neither one of them come out to save him, and it's Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline that destroys Punk, which is Roman's family. And he even shows him the clip of Jimmy and Jay calling him the snake in the grass that Roman led into the house, not to trust him. And CM Punk, Seth Rollins has been dropping the line snake for a while now, hasn't he? Um, I've been saying it for months and people have been arguing with me. I truly, honestly believe. I know Seth Rollins doesn't need him. Seth Rollins doesn't need him. CM Punk doesn't need him. Roman Reigns doesn't need him. But it makes so much sense for Paul Heyman to go with Seth Rollins for so many reasons. I'll talk about next week on my preview show for WrestleMania. As we're about to head to the road to WrestleMania. Um, I'm gonna watch NXT at some point this week, maybe tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know what I think of that because, like I said, I've just kind of now recovered from whatever the hell I was dealing with. I don't know what it was, but um, yeah, I have no energy in my body whatsoever the last couple of days, guys, and I've been enjoying wrestling, but I haven't been able to enjoy it if that makes sense because I've just been trying to figure out what the hell's going on with me personally. And I appreciate everyone that's been watching this channel and enjoying it and enjoying the content. And I know I've been promising the Armageddon breakdown. I'll be doing that tomorrow, 1000%. I guess I've just not been feeling myself the last couple of days and maybe a week or so. And I think I just needed a break to shut off the world. And I'm back. All right, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.